a very warm welcome to you all in this beautiful and wonderful evening. Myself, Lakshmi from Maroon Team Group A. It's a gorgeous day today. The weather, the sunset, all are beautiful as you all are gathering here with our cheerful and charming guest, Padma Shri Dr. MylswamyAnnadurai, Moon Man of India, former director of ISRO Satellite Center in Bangalore. I also would like to greet all our organizers of this program. Last, I would like to welcome all our other participants of Kumari Arivial Peravai in this wonderful virtual meeting. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Mylswamy Annadurai for gracing this event with his presence. Now, we can intricately view some of the graspable information about him. Mylswamy Annadurai, formerly known as the Moon Man of India, is an Indian scientist working as Vice President for Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology. During his 36 years of contributions, including two of the major missions of ISRO, namely Chandrayaan 1 and Mangalyaan, Dr. Annadurai has been listed among 100 global thinkers of 2014 and topped the innovators list. He work, his works are mentioned in textbooks of Tamil Nadu Board of Secondary Education. He had received more than 100 awards. And now, I would request our chief guest, Dr. Mylswamy Annadurai, to start his conversation on the topic Space exploration will continue to inhabit space, the universe. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi, for a good intro. And once again, my hearty wishes and for this new year. Actually, I'm supposed to have joined the first day itself, but I had some preoccupation. I asked for second day. Even second day also, again had some throat congestion, and it had let me take some rest and come back. So that's the reason today, after some delay, we are sitting today. Anyhow, now going back to the topic per se, and I also understand the Kumari Arivial Peravai is doing extremely well, and last year also I think has done well, and this year also it started in a very positive note. So all you people are really blessed with, and let this continue for the year long. Okay, yeah. Now can I share my screen? Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, specifically, this presentation is on the space exploration will continue the inhabited universe. When we're talking about universe, I think baby steps has to start from Earth for the nearest planetary system. Then we have to keep moving. So that way, I try to see how we are positioned today and what is our confidence level in the near future will happen, and how we as Indians and you as the future scientist will be able to part and parcel of this effort. I think this effort is now it's coming. It's a more and more baby steps towards the realities keep happening. Let us look at that and where we stand on this also. Now you all know even the human civilization. This talks about because basically the moving around and trying to explore the various lands. It's happened over the years. Okay, this is when we're talking about the scale of we are talking about for the present day into thousands of years. That okay, that means 1.5 million, 1.5 million years. How the things are keep moving forward. So that way, if you look at there, various ways the human civilization was keep moving around, not for wandering and once for exploration and making the settlements. Many things are happening, and some of them happened as recent as possible also. Okay, even the few hundred years back also something has happened. That's what we are talking about. Some regions like that with here. So these are all the some of the recent past. Okay. That's what happened even after Columbus and American Vespucci going to US continent, and many things are keep happening. So this is basically part and parcel of the human civilization trying to look for the new places and try to settle and make a habitat. That's how even the habitats over the years across the globe it happened to that. So that is continues. Okay, now that continues. In that, just to capture where we stand, point of view, of course, exploration was the main reason why the space came into picture in terms of various points. But the exploration was not point of our discussion when in India started Indian space program. It is a vision was a national development with the benefit to common man through the space, and very emphatically told by Dr. Vishram Sarabhai that we don't have fantasy go to the moon or manned missions like that, but we should be second to none when it comes to the reaping the technology things for the common man. So that way I look at here. Yes, for the societal needs point of view, communication, remote sensing, meteorological satellites, navigation, many things we have done. And slowly look at here in the Indian history of space time, we have started with the first phase, baby step of going outer space in terms of going just nearest planetary system of the moon. We have gone for a Chandrayaan 1. And of course, there we made a real presence of our exploration when finding the discovery of water when we are done. Similarly, then subsequent mission, you know that Martian orbit when we acquired 2014, also we made a historic. And in the process of that, even the technologies also got evolved. So now with this moving ahead, satellite manufacturing will happen, advanced research will happen, but space exploration to meet the national demands in a big way also starting. So the restructuring of ISRO, what's happening there, all these things points to a good number of people will be concentrating more and more into exploration, though a bigger number will be concentrating on the satellite manufacturing, satellite launching, new launch vehicles coming, advanced research going on. So that means today the three arms of whatever ISRO has come. So that will be enabling this sort of activities in a big way when India is emerging in a space. Now you know that just fast forward, we started a very small baby steps. You would have gone through that. It just for completeness, like I'm telling. We started the very modest way. So how we have from there, definitely now you look at here infrastructures are very huge. Okay, now previously infrastructures are very minimal, and even the logistics, even to move the systems one place to another place, we used a very rudimentary systems. But today, I think India is having the world class, internationally standard infrastructures, facilities, either to make the satellites, make the launch vehicles, to the researchers, and to launch the system, and after the launching, operating the satellites and deriving the benefit. I think you name it. I think India is now as good as anybody else in the world with respect to infrastructure is concerned. That is, in the last 60 years, many things happened there. When India is celebrating 75th year of India's independence, definitely India is placed in some of the areas in the front liner, one of them being the space. And to start with, it was the societal needs, now slowly emerging into the space exploration also, along with other countries, and India's efforts also helped other countries to accelerate their effort at space exploration. That's the point I want to put it here. That means, again, you look back, very modest way, very modest way in technology day oration. Then the chairman ISRO, Dr. Rangan, has talked about destination of moon is ISRO's next big thing. The first ever time any ISRO person talked about that. And there, leaving alone all the things, I many times have showed this view graph, and it has been told if it all goes well, it could be reality in 2008. I think this particular sentence, you can see to that if all goes well, it could be a reality. The days, years will change, but the destinations will change. If we put on the moon, we can go to Mars, and just unmanned mission versus unmanned landing, afterwards manned mission, like that can keep going. That means it is you and me to see to that. If all goes well, it could be a reality by such and such year. Okay, this I think is going to happen in the years to come. The space exploration is concerned. Yes, similar thing I was trying to put there. Because why I'm telling is I'm trying to put the dots together. So these dots, when you look at here, so the history shows the how we move forward. Okay, not only within India, across the space exploration point of view. Kennedy told on May 25th of 1961, the US should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade, when 1960s, when he talked about, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. Okay, this is the first ever step. Like Dr. Rangan told about how we will go to the moon for unmanned mission. He's saying a manned mission will going in end of the decade, 1960s, when he talks about before 1970, that should happen. I think that is the goal. It has been talked about. It is historically it is known fact that. But accordingly, yes, it has happened. July 16th of 1969, the first manned mission to go to the moon, it has embarked. And the July 21st of 1969, yes, was then President of USA, John F. Kennedy told, before the end of the decade, even though he was not there to see, but this happened by the humanity. Okay, that's again, yeah, a small step for the humans, but it's a giant thing for the humankind. That's happened. That means, like whatever explorations happened previously from Africa to many Asian countries, Asia to other European countries, Europe to going to for the American continent and Australia, like that. Now this is beyond the earth, going and man putting it his presence, putting a stand. It's happened, as you are aware, July 21st of 1969. Now fast forward 50 years of moon landing. Okay, I had opportunity invited by US consulate to give a lecture of looking back 50 years of moon landing, and across the globe when they're celebrating, I had the opportunity to give an half-an-hour lecture of the what we feel about that. Then that time is after giving the lectures, then I was trying to put, because it so happened the day when I was giving a lecture, our Chandrayaan 3 along with our GSLV was positioned in the launch pad to go to be launched for the subsequent days. I think you are aware of that. It was waiting for that. That is the thing. So then 50 years of moon landing, when we were discussing on 21st July 2019, I made a statement that it's time for us to find extended habitat. I told previously from across the globe how the extended habitat, human civilization was keep moving around. But now it's time, because now almost we have populated everywhere, including Antarctica. We have presence of man has happened there. Now it's time for us to find extended habitat, not just landing or two, but it should be extended habitat beyond the earth. Okay, I think this is what I was trying to put there, and let us see that where we stand. Okay, now you look at again coming back, what really happened with respect to moon is itself point of view. Okay, moon itself point of view, because what happened, the small tinkering here and there, how it makes a huge difference. I was trying to put. You know that before our Chandrayaan 1, before our Chandrayaan missions, I told in 69, Armstrong landed. Before that, unmanned missions have gone. Russia also has given unmanned missions, landing and coming back. Many things happened. Samples also came. So these are all the places when landing also took place on the moon surface concern. And but notwithstanding that, after the 50th year when we are celebrating, before just you look back 15 years before, that means before 1970 to somewhere 2000, or not almost all the people forgot to go to the, not forgot to the moon, left the moon, because moon was considered to be barren, because the way in which they looked at them. Why it has happened is because they landed and searched for a water. I think this is what happened there. But now when our Chandrayaan went, it went really 30 years later, correct? 30, 40 years later than the previous missions. So now what difference we can make in the whole of exploration? Okay, the exploration also has its own way of doing, makes a difference. What Columbus was looking for India, but he found out accidentally America, correct? No? But it's not by accidentally. Is it by design? Is something possible to do? Is our idea. But here by design, they wanted to look for the resources like water, but they could not find. Okay, because of some reason, because they're landing and searching for water. But now our objective we made slightly different. That slight different, how it made a bigger difference. Okay, just you can see that. What we wanted to see, search for water. That's what we're searching for water. That's our satellite is doing. Then on land. Okay, search for water and land. When we're searching for the whole moon, I think we could find there are places where water molecules were seen, where the places where um, even the water in the form of ice for a few meters depth has been seen there. That means searching for water and trying to land. I think this made the whole game of lunar exploration changed. Okay, with this we could discover our water on the moon. But still, you look at though the discovery is much bigger than compared to all the previous 69, 70 missions have gone. They could not find. But whereas this mission is again, I told now many places I use the word baby step. This also compared to the other previous missions, it looked like a baby step. Now, if we compare the cost per launch, what is US has done and what is ours? Okay, and you look at here, it is nearly 1.23 billion. Okay, cost per launch, not full launch, cost per launch itself. Okay, if average, if you try to take this, coming something like this. Whereas we spent not more than $28 million. But now the vehicles also look at here, a huge difference. What it can do and what payload can take, it can take. You look at here, our payload mass is very small, whereas this it is in the new orbit itself. Okay, but when really putting into that other missions, it's still much lesser. For example, 3800, when we talk about our mission, is one way, but whereas it is for the LEO missions. But into a GTO, it is not more than 1500, 1350 kg. So, but here, just one-to-one comparison, that launch vehicle can do like this. So, this sort of a launch vehicles could not do something, but whereas this mission, very modest mission, would do something better than what others have done. So that how we have done, just for a matter of thing, just I'm trying to put it here. Elsewhere, how they will go to the moon versus how we have gone to the moon, also different. Okay, it is not just we go around the moon, look for water and see, not that one, almost start to end, because our launch vehicle is a very modest. So that way we can only very simple satellite only can be launched. And again the moon remains same, but moon they landed and they have seen water not there. But now without landing, we should see explore the whole moon, and in the as an outcome of that, if you're able to discover something, it's a better. But the end-to-end mission is more totally different. Okay, that's how their mission calls for a bigger launch vehicle. Our even the modest launch vehicle we are able to do, because they will put it in a place something like this. From here, if one shot they will throw it. Okay, that calls for larger energy, larger payload. Many things are called for. But whereas we have gone for incremental, we have gone for incrementally, like first standard, second standard, third standard, like that. You can assume that way. Okay, so October 22nd was launched somewhere something like this, somewhere around 200 kilometer to 22,000 kilometer, very small orbit. Okay, but the moon was traveling nearly an average distance of nearly 384,000 kilometer coming around. So when it is moving around like this with the speed of 1 kilometer per second, on an average orbital velocity of 1 kilometer per second, moon supposed to have been elsewhere, it's keep coming. So gradually keep on increasing. When you come over here, that speed increase slightly, goes to other orbit. So when it comes here with the small nudge, you can take all the way to travel to here. I think that's what we have done, because of our ingenious way of reaching the moon is concerned. But after reaching the moon, yes, we work together here. We led a team of scientists and engineers across the globe. Okay, NASA, European Space Agency, Bulgarian Space Agency, JAXA, like that. So combining those them and their instruments together, we looked at the moon was explored fully. When you are doing like that, we have seen the places. This is as if you're looking at from the top. Okay, and the polar regions where we are seeing, these are all the places where the craters were very few kilometers depth, and in that the form of ice we have seen using a synthetic aperture radar. Similarly, in the other regions also, we have seen the water molecule in the surface region. Okay. Also, we have seen this is using another instrument called the moon Monarch mapper. Other one is called synthetic aperture radar. These two instruments have shown where all the places water in the form of water molecules or the frozen ice. We could discover it in the. Uh, but this is becoming a global effort. We have done that. This is the team, basically this M3 team. Along with that, we have discovered, and this is in JPL. We have first team to look at the data and tell yes, we are first time we are seeing the water molecules on the lunar surface. First time that we are seeing. Similarly, another effort using with the Pulse Police, I think today is no more. I think last year, I think he expired. Very good friend of mine. And we worked a long time, long days. But this time is another unique experiment, wherein after Chandrayaan one is launched and after M3 also seen a data, they also launched another mission called Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter after so many years later to the moon. So now this time, whatever the discovery, whatever you have seen to make it disambiguity, that means to make it much better way, you have two satellites together working. Okay, that will give a much more fidelity, much more confirmation of what is the water presence there. That means Chandrayaan 1 is going and the lunar orbiter will come. So this will give a radio waves down, and our Chandrayaan will pick it up. Similarly, our waves will go there in a span radar, that their radar will pick it up. So this way, when you're doing it there, the presence of water is whatever I told now, in the shadowed regions where the sunlight is not there, what's available, what depth it is there, I think we can able to get that. So this is how the water map on the polar side are able to do it in this mission. So now this is now you look at here as a Chandrayaan 1 science team. Though people are landed on the moon, Kennedy told yes, we will land, put the man safely and come back. Well, men they gone, landed safely, came back, but almost all of them declared moon is a barren. Okay, but now we are sent unmanned mission with an objective of search for. You make a full exploration and look for what are all the what moon contains, what sort of mineral composition, how the terrains are there. Like that, you look for various instruments, and with that instrument, along with the other teams, work for that. So that way, this is a science day which discovered the water on the moon, and this is the time where we declared to the world, yes, we have discovered as a part of a Chandrayaan mission. We have done like that. We have told to the world. So this has changed the whole scenario, but probably with that confidence, whatever we got it there, we embarked a mission to the Mars. And that Mars also, there are many, as you know, the many places I told that the 51 missions they had made, only 21 could succeed. That means nearly 30 missions could not make an effort to reach the Mars. But whereas we wanted to succeed the first attempt itself, so we made an exhaustive study and explored what are all the possible reasons why the people failed. And that means that there are 30 attempts of failure are there. That means 30 reasons we have not to fail. Okay, that is the way we looked at that. So that way, when we went to the Mars, almost similar way. Okay, almost similar way of same PSLV, almost satellite is saying, except the communication point have some corrections we made. So that incrementally improved the orbit, and finally one kick we are given. So that this time when it is giving, it is it loses, it's going out of the Earth's gravity and acquired by the gravity of the sun. So when it happens, so like Earth is going around the sun with on its own, Mars is going around the sun. So this also, Mangalyaan also go around the sun. But we have timed it and we have given the energy like that, we have given the directions like that, such that the Mars, when it, previously I told now how the moon was supposed to be elsewhere, and when it's keep coming, you should go over there. Similarly, even though it's a free for fuel, it's keep going there. It should be timed to that 9 months later when it's coming over here, Mars also should be supposed to be here. Okay, that way it's properly calculated, properly designed, and properly executed, and that mission has succeeded that way. Okay, this shows the many places I had shown you. This is initial things will look like PSLV, that our Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan, almost similar way we have done. Come to the near perigee, give a kick, then you increase orbit, increase orbit, like that. Then finally, and you look at here, yeah, you give another kick, yeah, now it goes. Now you look at here, around the sun, this is called heliocentric orbit. Three objects are going. Two are natural, one is man-made, our Indian Mangalyaan. So these things are keep going, and here keep watching every year where it's supposed to be and where it is. If it's not there, when small correction. So that way we are keep doing it that during the 9 months. And when that means every point where it's supposed to be and where it's not there, correct it. And this I think the whole thing, the 48 weeks of journey, I have written in our Tamil daily Tinathandi. Okay, when it came, and yeah, it captured that. When it captures that way, it has become, India has become the first ever country to succeed in the first attempt itself, which our Indian Prime Minister was standing behind and congratulating, and the whole world was watching for that. So now putting these things together, okay, and by the time initial, but we are not left behind our original objectives. Okay, that means our original objective of societal needs point of view, communication, meteorological, Earth observation satellites, navigation satellites, space science, all those things also we have done, and good amount of missions also we have made it into the for our own purpose also. And that means in the various categories we have done with the everything, as Vikram Sarabhai told, for the people and by the people. Okay. Now in the context of this, now you look at here. Now we have so many missions, and on one side we have discovered water on the moon, and the moon exploration further is possible, and we made even the reasonably good cost, very economically we can go to the Mars also. That also we have shown, and we made huge number of satellites around the Earth, meant for our own purpose, meant for agriculture, energy, environment, infrastructure, many things we have done. Okay, so these are all the satellites going around the thing. So now these satellites also need to be attended to. Okay, like huge population comes. Previously, population just feeding is good enough, and they need the housing. They're good enough. But now they have some health issues. Now, when health issues comes, you need the doctors, you need medical practitioners, medicines. You need now. I think something similar happens for this satellites also. So that means you need something to be done as if somebody is watching these satellites, and so that any untoward things is it possible to avoid because of various reasons. That is towards that the mission what we are talking about is the another exploratory mission. One side exploration, but exploration helps for the understanding some untoward things. For example, COVID, some tsunami coming, weather forecast we are telling now, and some storm is coming, some cyclone is emerging. Like that, even in the solar system also, the sun, if it is not very silent, okay, the sun also erupts something. So when such a thing happens, our host of satellites which are around the Earth, I told now more than 56 satellites India itself having. These satellites are very, very complex and very becoming very sophisticated. So any disturbance coming from the sun, that's cosmic radiations, can disturb our satellites. Okay, that to get how the meteorological satellites are there for our own Earth. You need some forewarning system that can be done. That's how our Aditya has been configured. So now Aditya is just alone. Okay, that's what we are talking about. That means between Earth and Sun, no gravities, one gravity of Earth well is going on there, gravity of the sun is there, but those things in some 4 points you look at here, there will be some sort of equilibrium takes place. Okay, and around that point, if you put also it's possible to put the satellites. Nominally, satellites you will put on a gravity build system. That means we have seen now, we have the satellites around the Earth. We have done. We have put the satellite around the moon. We have put the satellite around Mars. Like that, you can keep putting a planetary bodies. Not only that, this is the thing is where the gravity of two planetary bodies acting, and between them there are the points like the L1, L2, L3, L4 are there. Those around those points also, it's possible to place a satellite. Okay, if you place the satellite, That satellite will be using that satellite, something better we can do. So this is another way of doing. That's how Aditya has come. So that means between the sun and earth, something called Yellowstone point, Lagrangian point. You put the satellite. So this point is keep on, yes, previously I shown the view graph, it's keep moving, correct? Na? So that means if you put that around that will keep moving, but one side of the satellite will be looking constantly the sun, another side will be constantly towards the earth. That means 24-hour, 24 by 7, our sun can be watched from there. That means something happened, something eruption happens, as I told now, that will affect our space weather. This satellite will able to forewarn some space weather, something is happening there. So we can take a precautionary measure to our own satellites. Okay, because now our own satellites are required for our own earthbound works also. So towards that, it is our Chandrayaan, our Aditya is coming out that way. Now these are all the assets you told. Okay, how you put the satellites around the Earth, put the satellite and explore the moon, and you put them economically satellite around the Mars. So these are all the building blocks. What are I told is initially told now. Many people told yes, we can do like that. Accordingly, many things have been done. The another thing is with that many building blocks have come. The satellites meant for societal needs we have done. Beyond that, exploration of the moon we have done. Possibility of exploring Mars also we have seen. So now these are all the building blocks. Now putting the building blocks, like initially how the man was going around to look for the new places, then he settled. Now, Columbus he went for the place, but he didn't settle. The American Vespucci also went, he didn't settle, but he showed the way. Then people have gone, and then people settled there. Okay, something like that. These are all the missions. Initially around Earth orbit, then going to the moon, going to the Mars. Okay, now connect these events. Okay, now connect these events. What really happens? That's how that will happen. So to do that, also some basic other building blocks you have to do. Okay, now you go to the I told no, the people are going exploration from one place to another place. After going over there, you have to stay in one place. You need a habitat, means what? You need a house, correct? No, you have to build a house. How to build a house? You are going to the moon. In the moon, you have to build a house. But after going over there, you cannot keep an R&D. Okay, because every day is an expensive day. So before that, is it possible to do some experiment back in Earth itself? After going over that, what sort of house you can build to start with, so that human can stay within that. So this we have done an experiment. We have seen a place near Salem, wherein something moon-like mineralogical compositions rocks were there. So those rocks were taken, and these are rocks. Okay, and but they look at, you look at here your geochemical properties of the soil, and recall it how close it is there. We have seen that. Okay, and from there we have made a huge samples, nearly 100 tons of sand. We made it, and that look like as if once you land, how the soil recolic will look like in the lunar soil. Okay, that is the thing. Now taking that, how the existing technologies of 3D printed models, how you can construct a system. Okay, very much a model system. You must have to stay there. You cannot all the time wearing the space suit. Not possible. No. So this is the one we have done thing. That is 3D printed model for the lunar structures. After man goes there, how he can start with that place itself, the lunar soil. You should have a machine, the 3D printer machine, that we can do that. So towards that, one is taking the raw material, the in situ place, but in situ place, instead of bringing 50 tons from earth, from moon, and doing moon-like place here, and that we have taken and we have done that. And the 3D printing also of such a structure also, the machines have been installed, and that has been done there. So this is how it's happened there. So this is also ISRO building igloos for future outposts on the moon. This is another building blocks I'm telling what's happening there. So you know that Gaganyaan mission. That is one is habitat. Another one is man has to go from space and come back to the thing. Okay, this efforts now after discovery of water on the moon, now across the globe, many countries started doing. India also now is doing it. Okay, that means to put the space capsule into the orbit and bringing back safely. That already we have done now in few occasions. Now, thing is, a human itself, crew module itself, go to the space and coming back. You know that already a lot of discussions going on, work is going on, and this will go in the near future. Another matter of 2 to 3 years. I think this will be a reality in terms of Gaganyaan mission. We are going to the space and coming back. This is to start with, go to the space and come back. I told now from the we also initially go to the space. PSLVs put the satellites into nearer orbit. Same PSLV put the satellite into the moon. Same satellite put the launch vehicle can put into the Mars. Okay. Similarly, though we are going to put this capsule to the near Earth and bring back, but nothing stops later with augmented mission facilities. The same module goes all the way to the moon. So also possibility exists because there is the minor modification too. So these are all the building blocks which keep happening. Then you need something to food, no? You can live, you can go, but after go, you cannot carry all the food all the way there. So this also parallel lot of work going on, something called astroculture. Of course, this is has been talked about various times, but now it is going in a very big way. What sort of vegetation you can do. With a lot of works going on, so that you can go to the Mars en route itself. You can do in the Mars soil. You can do the lunar soil. We can do. So this is an R&D efforts in agriculture. That means, as I told, there are building blocks of how to go, how to live, how to eat. Many things, many R&Ds are happening. Why? Actually, I had the opportunity to work with the youngsters like you. Of course, they are in the US. What sort of exercises you can do? Because gravity, for example, we are sitting now. We are all sitting in a place. Okay, in a space, nothing called sitting. You cannot sit because your weight is there, and that weight on that weight you are sitting, and on your chair it holds. Okay, but in the space, nothing called weight. Microgravity, less gravity. So nothing called sitting. Similarly, exercise nominally you do a weight and do that, but not weight not being there, it will look like a feather. Okay, so we cannot do the exercise also properly. Nominally, without walking itself an exercise for us, because against gravity we are walking, but that's also will not help. So you have to devise some systems how to do exercise also. I think I had a chance to work with them. Similarly, I told now, even though this you vegetables you able to cultivate, cooking is a different there in a space. Okay, you will understand that. So there also you need to be something different to make the eatables to do that place point of view. So now similarly this building block, as I told now, after discovery of water on the moon, lunar exploration for the habitat, and Mars also coming in a big way. Now back to the moon. In this name, across the world, people are started doing. Now, recently, our Artemis mission has gone Orion thing. Now, that capsule is basically to start with, like our Gaganyaan unmanned mission going, the similar thing, but not nearer. They have gone all the way to the moon and come back. Okay, to demonstrate, yes, now we have the new system. This can be used to go to the moon and make the land safely and do something there in longer time. Originally, Apollo landed, they started only few hours, but now now the idea is to make them modest colonies. That's what happening there. Another bigger mission. Also, this is StarX. That means Elon Musk also doing. Previous one is NASA. This is Elon Musk also doing. It means private entrepreneurs also for various reasons. One is for space exploration, for space tourism, or colony. Many things are being talked about that. So then again, this is another planning point of view. What's planned? That means 2024. Already you have seen 2022. The initial mission has gone and come back, unmanned mission. So now what will happen in the next 2024? It will go and descend our Chandrayaan-2 landing now, like that. It's a bigger mission. Even for our US also planning like that. Okay, this mission will go lunar descent module. It will descend that way. Okay, and element departs that way, goes to low lunar orbit for deployment to the surface. That's how it's going to be done in 2024. Then 2026. 2026 end-to-end human class test. That means it will go to the place, land safely, and come back also here. Again, unmanned. Okay, an unmanned mission, but as if man is sitting there. This is the plan for 2026. Okay, elsewhere it's done there. I think similar steps across the thing various nations are doing. This is one planning is there, NASA side. Then 2028. Okay, that means before end of this decade, the like whatever Kennedy has told. Now this thing is now this is going to set human lunar surface exploration. Now they will go and multiple people will land for longer duration. Okay, this is going to this is the initial baby step. On a second, back to the moon point of view, build up national human landing system reference architect. This is what happening. So from there, definitely, as I told, now agriculture is planned. How to you can energies you can take and how you can make your own habitat. Many other things. Whatever we have done here, it will be taken there and they will start implementing there. This is how it's going to happen for the moon. What is Mars? Because we have to explore more and more. No? So now you look at here, why Mars you have to go? That's I give an explanation. Because Mars is average distance is 225 million kilometers. It's from Earth's point of view, okay? And the Earth's closest habitable neighbor. About half again as far as from the sun to Earth, okay? So their atmosphere is carbon dioxide is there with some nitrogen, argon. So okay. Gravity on Mars is about 38%. These are all looking slightly better than Moon. Okay, only the distance is slightly far away. But that is the thing. So putting together after Moon, definitely Mars is another system. But here going and coming is slightly far because huge system has to be taken and do what all the steps, whatever I told the Moon. Similar thing will happen here, but the launch system should be slightly different. Okay, how to that means whatever launch systems whatever I told that itself not able to do the whole thing because when you take from here only 1/4 only will land on the moon. Okay, so but Mars when it is going that much not good enough. You need a bigger systems. So for that the mission scenario talked about is to start with similar launch vehicles only, but now the plan is now in the aeroplanes in the you would have seen in airports many places like Israel and US, many people doing, and India also made an attempt like that. That is a mid-air refueling. Okay, mid-air refueling. So is that the plane can be there for longer duration in the space. Because the aeroplane can be there as long as the fuel is there only, correct? Now, similarly, but now when you want to take it a larger mass for longer distance, then you need more fuel. Okay, but more and more fuel, if you put it here, thrust being less, it cannot take it up. So you take with the available thing, you take it off, go to there. But another mission goes and that will go and run over with it, and there you will do a refueling. Okay, so that means, but you have the bigger mass which supposed to be landed on the Mars will be happen that. So then again, what all things you have done similar way, like and I told now water is available, many things like that. But here carbon dioxide available, water is available. From there, you can create the fuel from there. Okay, so now that means here you here methane and oxygen type of thing. Okay, hydrogen oxygen type of thing, methane oxygen type of. That is the fuel they are talking about that. So these fuels can be done here also. That means whichever the launch vehicle has gone, it's a reusable launch vehicle. Okay, it can go and put the logistics there, man or is many things. But then there will be a like in situ you're building 3D printer. In situ you will be able to harvest the fuel also. Okay, using the resources there. So that fuel will be filled to the launch vehicle. That will come back. Okay, like that. In that man can go and come back. Logistics can come and go back like that. This is more like aeroplanes going and coming at one place to another. No? So if it goes and somewhere refuels and goes there, something like that. Okay, this is a mode of go to back and Mars. Exploration is not just one way. We should envisage this should continue that way. But beyond that to start with, I know I myself have met with a good number of youngsters who are ready to go and who are getting trained to go to the Mars as a one-way trip. That means to start with, this is not available. That means the fuel making not available there. So then the satellite launch vehicle coming back, not possible around that time. Let us assume. So then what they will do is they will go there, they will settle and they themselves to build, like our building and agriculture, those things they will do and they will survive. Okay. But after a few, so many years later, some people will be able to go and come back. But until then, you have to make a infrastructure heavily built there. Okay. And that's what they are going to do that. So that way, you look at here already a good amount of efforts. What are I'm trying to tell is already in though 1969, 1961, it has been told the human can go on the moon. Now beyond that, it's keep happening. Now in between there is a small lull to go to the moon point of view. But Chandrayaan made a big change with the discovery of water on the moon. Now moon is taken once again back to the moon. It's a big like our second world war, second independence struggle, something like that. Detail, na? Something like that. It's happening. So the whole world is looking moon to make a colony in a bigger way, and getting ready Mars also. And again, this point, what all I am telling here, this can be if you go to the moon. This can be done at the moon also. If you do it, this particular portion can be slightly avoided. That is also another parallel activity. That means moon being an outpost going to the Mars is another activity being done. So that way, now you look at here, good amount of work, a good amount of efforts, good number of youngsters and young people. And even today also, I had an opportunity to discuss with a youngster who is doing an astrophysics in US, and how he can be an astrophysics versus engineering, how he can do a lot of discussion going on. Okay, Manchester University versus how the science and engineering can be combined together, so that there will be a new team. Okay, new way of thinking. This affects only engineering also required. You need understanding of physics also required, understanding the space systems also required. So these are all the things that are really required for the future space exploration. Many things are happening there. And towards that, lot of engineering efforts across the globe is happening. That is happening not only by the governments, it's happening by private industries also. That means private industry cannot invest money today unless otherwise he sees the light in the future. Correct, no? So that means, Reliance Industry initially invested for the cell phone, but now how that the big industry. Correct, no? Similarly, the people invested exploration go to the US. Okay, those days the kings, but now the whole world is reaping about the US federal land available. Similarly, many places the explorations have helped a lot. Antarctica also another way where the whole world, I think more than 40 countries presence are there in Antarctica, because many resources they're talking about that way. But while doing all these things, definitely the whole world is looking for an extended Earth, okay, in the place of Moon or Mars to start with. And definitely it can keep moving further and further. These are all the baby steps. I told, no, these are all the baby steps, but baby steps are growing in a much better way, growing in a much detailed way. So this is happening just in front of our eyes. Okay, I told just within this decade, what all can happen. I'm telling. So definitely, many things going to happen. While when the whole world is doing, I think India also have to play an active role in all future endeavors of the space exploration. I think towards that only the restructuring of Indian space program. So what all can be done by the private industry and what ISRO can do, and like that many things are happening. And while doing all these things, a lot of international cooperation. Not every country will keep doing everything. Need not required. That's why Chandrayaan 1 paved the way. Now also we are working in even for the that NASA, ISRO, that synthetic aperture radar NISAR mission is coming in a big way. There's a big multi-billion-dollar mission. So that also saying the space exploration in the future will be by and with international cooperation, with even the private participation, academia participation, many things will happen. India cannot left behind. Towards that, India has acquired, because India also now for this renewed exploration efforts, India's Chandrayaan 1 discovery of God from Moon paved the way, and India's very economic mission to go to the Mars paved the way. Putting together, we had the chance when I was there itself. some discussions with even with Elon Musk team also. Okay, initially they are only the launch vehicle. They didn't have much of a satellite that time. That time I'm talking about 6-7 years back. That is immediately after our Mars orbiter success. A lot of discussion went through that. So these are all showing the whole world is looking India also in a very positive way. India's contribution also in a very positive way in the future run, and India also going to be the number one in the world population country, and such a country cannot lag behind when someone is finding an extended earth outside in terms of another habitat. So that way, I think we are all poised, and I'm happy you youngsters are spending some time to listen to such a thing, so that you among you all somebody will get triggered and will be part and parcel of this effort which the whole world is doing, and we cannot lag behind because we are also part and parcel of this global village. That means be ready for a 3D global engineering and science. That's what I just some time back I told. No, it's engineering. Engineering doesn't mean engineering. It is science also. Okay, that means you need a hard skill, you need soft skill, you need global professional skill. Okay, that I listed what is it as me. Okay, because that's what required. Because when we want to explore into the universe, first you should get to the global level. So then, as a globe, when it is doing, you are part and parcel of that global effort to go far into the exploration beyond the earth. Okay. With this, my thoughts. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, sir, it's an useful and graspable information for the upcoming journey. Also, your speech was attractive and marvelous. Thank you, sir. Whenever they doubt you, use that doubt as fuel. By these words, it's time to clarify our doubts.
Yeah.
The most awaited section is feedback. Now I call upon Madhav to deliver the feedback of this section.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Madhav of Red Team Group B. So first I have to say Happy New Year to everyone and start with the blessed speech of Sir Annadurai, who is also called as the Moon Man of India. And first he started his speech by wishing all a Happy New Year. And he said, space exploration will continue to inhabit it, and exploration made people think outside the world to space. And he talked about many dates which have been changed the space exploration. Like in the 80s, 4 satellites had been launched by India, and in the 90s, 40 transponders and sensors launched by India. And in 2000s, 60 satellites and 300 plus transponders launched by India. And he also talked about the successful missions of India, like the Chandrayaan 1 and the MOM mission, which was the Mangalyaan orbiter mission, Mars orbiter mission. And he started with the saying what about the minimal growth of India, like first how we transported the satellite with the help of bullock cart and taking the rocket materials from the cycle, which was very emotional to see from what India has developed to now. And now India is comparable to NASA, as I have seen in Google that in ISRO is in the number 2, and now ISRO can definitely change the world by crossing NASA too. And now India has many institutes like Kumari Arivial Peravai had done study camp in IIST, like IIST, and many space institutes in India. And ISRO is going to be the best space organization. And India has also helped all countries for launching the satellites. Before also, because of other countries only, India had transported many of its satellites. Next, he told about the space missions of the America in the Cold War of Soviet Union, and America in July 1969, where he talked about the mission of man from Earth to moon, and when it completed in July 21, 1969, like how Kennedy predicted the US landing on moon, and after 15 years of that moon landing on 21 July 2019, Sir Myles Swamy Annadurai told, got an opportunity to say that it's time for us to find extended habitat beyond Earth. And he explained it about the moon landings on moon. And he also told that India had searched for water in moon, and we were successful. And he told that we had found the water in the form of ice and found molecules by global efforts. And he told how the uh, cheap uh, cheap cost of India for space exploration, like $1.23 billion for US per launch, and $28 million for India per launch. And there is also difference in the weight, like 1,40,000 kilo for per rocket of USA, and 38,000 kilo of India. And next, he told how we had discovered different ways to launch satellite on moon, like Chandrayaan 1, which was launched on 8th November 2008, which take the many time, like from October 22 to November 4 to reach on moon. And he told that water is formed in was formed in the ice form, and water molecules were formed, and because of coordinated by static imaging of NASA, which launched a lunar reconnaissance orbiter. Because of that coordination, we had found water on the moon. And he told how many Mars missions had been in the space, like 51 Mars missions, and only 21 were successful. And he also told how India had find a different way to send its satellite on the orbit. Like India had calculated the time and energy, and at the same accurate date it had sent, and successfully on the first attempt it was successful for mom. And now even I am very proud that the Mongolian mission has been successful. It was the first country to in its first attempt, and in the cheapest one. And all the prime minister and me was looking that, and it exploded my mind. And he told that satellites of India are used for societic applications too, like agriculture, energy, and environment, infrastructure, water management, development projects, etc., and mainly for weather forecast. And he told about the Aditya mission of India, which is going to be done on future, which says about Earth and Sun. And he told about the L1 point satellites will face equal gravitation forces from both Sun and Earth. And like he told that we had found moon-like mineral compositions found in Salem. And he told about 3D print models for lunar structure. And he then moved upon the Gaganyaan mission, where he explained about the modules in it, like the crew module of astronaut and service module, which does on the orbit servicing. And then he told about the most interesting thing, that astroculture. He told that in ISS, the International Space uh, Space Satellite, he told that zinnia flowers were growing on ISS, and astroculture of soya bean plant growth and lettuce mizuna growing. And he told about the Elon Musk's private organization for space exploration, like SpaceX. And he told that how man is going to be launching satellites, and going to be uh, holding his flags on the moon, like 2026, which going to be unmanned, but satellites will go and come back. And he told 2028, where human will go to moon, and they can stay there for long duration with a lot population and bring back itself. And he also told that Mars is the closest habitable neighbors, and Earth. Uh, he told about Earth and Mars rocket transportation, and the go and come back of satellites, and satellite centers, rocket centers in the Mars too. and he explained about the Antarctica, where 40 countries saying their ownership in Antarctica, and like Austria and Canada. And he also told that India will be a great space exploration in future, and if a global effort is from all the countries, then it will be so fast, easy, and cheaper for all the country to get a very good reason effect in the space exploration field. And he told about the global 3D global engineering, global efforts can bring a big change in the world, and how space is going to be a very big future for the world, like viewing the earth and also finding a other option for us to live out of the earth. And his speech was awesome. It was a very clear way he explained it, and we all enjoyed the speech, and we got more information about the missions of India, missions of the world, how moon was an option for living, and the water on moon, and lots of things about the space. I really thank Sir MylswamyAnnadurai for giving an opportunity to learn. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mother. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. Thereby, thank you all for being here this evening to be a part of this program. Thank you. Have an awesome day ahead.
Recording close.
Thank you very much.
சார் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அருமையா இருந்தது, சிறப்பா இருந்தது. எல்லா ஏரியாவையும் கவர் பண்ணியிருக்கிறீங்க.